Welcome back to the show. Check out these headlines here. Bitcoin calls for $1 billion by 2038. Well, what does that make XRP price then? And how about SuperApps? Oh, that's back on the table. And XRP spot ETFs, the odds just went up. We got that and so much more. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on X, YouTube, and DigPerspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, look at this, $4.02 trillion. That has come up in just the last hour, let's call it. We're up 0.5 here. Bitcoin 113,200 plus. Ethereum 4,300 plus. Number 3 spot, XRP, $3 on the nose. Now we're off 0.6 on the 24, but we're up 0.9 on the hour. And we see we're up 5.2 on the 7-day. Let's look at the range of price. Ranging between 294 and 302. We'll take a look at some TA before we get out of here. I want to tell you guys, be very careful. There's large-scale supply chain attack in progress. This is from Charles Gouillet, the CTO of Ledger. And he says, basically, you got to be very careful. The malicious payload works by silently swapping crypto addresses on the fly to steal your funds. Look, and they reported on this that it was largely stopped. But I'm showing you this because what do you want to do? You want to prepare for that moment before it gets here. That's what you want to do. And you could do that by going to iTrustCapital.com/XRP Army. The new premium custody account, it gives you institutional grade custody, and it also protects you from any kind of bad attack vector. Let's say a SIM swap attack, or in that example that you clicked on something that you shouldn't have. Well, in your account, the worst thing that could happen in a PCA is a closed loop system. So you go in with your cash and crypto, you trade all the 80 plus tokens listed on the platform as much as you want. And when you're ready to come out, you come out in cash to your US checking account. This removes the bad vector, the attack vector of somebody moving your crypto out of your account. They can't do it. It has to go to your US checking account as cash. And that's how you keep that from happening, right? So if you want to listen, what is the first principles here? The first principles are knowing that your hard-earned money going into your portfolio is safe. And this is how you can do it. So all you got to do is go to iTrustCapital.com/XRP Army, use the code XRP6, or just simply click the first link under every single video that we have and get started today, because you don't want to wait until this moment has happened to you. You want to put the procedures and protocols in place to make sure that your assets are as safe as possible. Let's get started right here. India fears regulating cryptocurrency would grant them legitimacy, says Reuters. I say, if you've been in this space for any length of time, India got to stop this. I mean, they have been back and forth like a tennis match since 2020. This is just incredible. So you either validate it or you get left behind. There's your odds. Okay. That's what you're looking at, India. And I love you guys. I just want you to get yourself pointed in the right direction. Don't count yourself out. Does this include Ethereum? SEC targets U.S. firms tied to suspected Chinese pump and dump scams. And I'm asking the question. I know that they're not a U.S. company, but nonetheless, Ethereum and Vitalik took money from CCP China's Wanzhang. So what's the difference? Right? What's the difference? And here we go. If the Fed is data dependent and the data is bad, makeup cuts, interest rate cuts are needed to catch up to the market because of said bad data, right? Here we go. Take a listen.
If the Fed says they're data dependent and the data has been atrocious, then it seems like there's probably some makeup cuts in order here, or the size of this month's cut needs to be recalibrated. And sure, it could be fixed. Anything can be fixed. You just have to first, we had to establish that it was broken, which President Trump did. Now we have to go about fixing it. And it wasn't working well before that. Kind of this lazy notion that they had dropped down to these low response rates, 30-40% response rates, and they intuited the balance. Intuiting the balance is going from quantitative to qualitative. We need good empirical data, and it's not easy to get to, but you got to want to get there, and we want to get there. I think EJ is a great person to do it. I've known him for years. He's high integrity, data-driven, the ruthless truth pursuer.
Well, with that being said, I'm a ruthless truth pursuer too. And I still put up the point that the Fed is not cooperating with the president and the current administration because they know that they're getting shut out of the new digital on-chain economy. And they're pissed about it. And this is one way that they could respond, right? Paul Barron says, I didn't trust the data before, and I still don't. You know what to do. Debasement is here. So consider digital assets plus gold and park some in yield-bearing stable coins until the rates drop. There you have it. Because when the rates drop, that's when it'll kick off a move in all of the equities markets, right? That's what you're going to see. And listen to Eric Trump here. He says the modern financial system is changing and crypto is rewriting the rules.
The modern financial system is changing every single day, and crypto is rewriting the rules.
And you know what? He's right about that. And Paul Barron, I believe, is right about this. What he means is that Ripple and XRP are poised to rewrite the history of finance. Now we're talking. Paul Barron's got it on lock, baby. Shout out to Paul. Eric Trump has been removed from the board of World Liberty Treasury Company, Alt 5 Sigma, due to NASDAQ rules. It makes sense to me. I don't mind the Trump family being in crypto, but you got to have this, separation between church and state. I mean, you can't go hanging out with the president and the administration, which is your dad, right? And then all of a sudden be in this space that they're about to pass legislation for. It sounds like a Nancy Pelosi play, right? Hard for me to see the difference there. So removing him, look, I don't want them to not be successful. Obviously, they already are. But all I'm saying is like, you got to have some separation between this, because if you don't, what you're doing is you're giving the adversaries, the Senator Elizabeth Warren, the kind of ammunition she needs to try to turn people inside of the Congress and the Senate so they don't pass the legislation that we desperately need. Tembo now accepts Ripple's RLUSD, merging electric vehicle innovation with blockchain payments for fast, secure global transaction. This is tied into Vivo Power, and their decision is not simply about the addition of a method of payment. Rather, it's a bigger picture. The company is adopting the path of becoming what it calls the world's first XRP-focused digital asset enterprise. It is an investment in XRP digital assets and Ripple Labs equity. Alongside this, Vivo Power is working to construct decentralized finance tools and real-world blockchain application. Now, furthermore, RLUSD has some major advantages. For example, it enables international payments to be made almost instantly compared to the traditional wire transfer, which is a mess. I know for real on that one. RLUSD payments are faster and significantly cheaper. Also, given that the stablecoin is minted on the XRP ledger and Ethereum, it provides flexibility for major blockchain platforms. RLUSD was designed by Ripple with institutions in mind. As such, it adheres strictly to compliance standards, transparency, and security. This makes it especially useful for global businesses and financial institutions. That's only going to continue to grow. And around the world, we know MetaPlanet in Japan is the MicroStrategy of Japan, right? And it raised another 205 billion yen to buy more Bitcoin. Nothing's stopping the train. And as long as they put this stuff in reserves, government reserves, they're going to be okay, I believe. Ohio's retirement fund buys $23 million in MicroStrategy shares. What in the world? Boy, you talk about a swing and a miss at my house. Listen, why would you buy the exposure to MicroStrategy when you could buy the Bitcoin directly? I mean, the whole concern is that the drawdowns on Bitcoin could upset the apple cart for MicroStrategy stock, shareholders, right? And then when that happens, you're upside down. But if you got the Bitcoin directly, you're not as susceptible. I mean, of course, you got the drawdown, but you don't have the house of cards effect for the share price and the stocks if you're in MicroStrategy. This is a swing and a miss for me. For me, it's like they're not buying Bitcoin; they're buying exposure to Bitcoin, right? But the reality is they should just be buying Bitcoin if that's what they're going to do, right? Cut the middleman out. Another corporate buying XRP, we covered this yesterday, is Hyperscale Data. Not a huge position as of yet, but the fact that they're positive on acquiring XRP in their treasury is absolutely the right. It's all the signals we want to see, and that's what this is. This video today is all the signals we want to see. And believe me, I'm telling you, we're going to have that moment. I almost bet it. Just like we did with the Genius Act. Remember, we have all the votes. We're going to pass it. And then they came out and said, we might not be able to do this till 2026, 2027. Right? And then what happened? Then they passed it and it was fine. Everything was fine. Wasn't that interesting? Because I think we're going to see that again. But this video is about showing you, watch what they do, not what they say. Kraken now expands X stocks to Europe, bringing tokenized US stocks and ETFs to all of their EU users. Yeah, it's not going back the other way. Don't let them throw you. And here is Sandy Call, who, by the way, will be speaking at Swell in New York, where Wall Street is. Take a listen to what she says, and it is really, really worth hearing.
For our listeners who are investors in the space, what would be your advice to them in terms of what they should be watching over for the rest of this year to give them insight and give them the confidence and conviction that they need in their crypto investments?
Yeah, so I have to say this to myself every day too. So this is advice I give myself, Jay, is stay calm, stay patient, right? As we've just discussed, the setup for what is coming is powerful. It's so powerful that if you wait until it's happening, you're going to be chasing returns that you are probably perfectly positioned to get today. Bingo. Right? So just be patient. The other thing I always try and remind myself is, even with all the excitement that has built over the past 18 months with crypto and the markets being at record highs in many cases, we've only seen the amount of money in the crypto markets increase from 3 to 4 trillion, right? There is $100 trillion of money invested in the broader set of assets that are today not on crypto rails. Again, just think if 10% of that money moves into crypto and token-based investments, we are increasing the size of the crypto markets by 2.5x, 2.5x, right? So be patient, because the wall of money is going to come, and you do not want to have liquidated and stepped aside before that wall of money hits. Be patient. Sit back, sit tight, trust that all of these developments are leading to inevitable behavioral outcomes.
There you have it. Now take a listen to this. Look, RLUSD is released. Trump's inauguration. We know that Ripple attended and had dinner with the man. Gary officially leaves the SEC and they donated to his inauguration. And then the XRP Strategic Reserve is coming. Ripple case ends. Alt season's coming. Ripple name, big bank partnership. We got them. XRP ETF approval pending. And that could happen right in the range of about a month, give or take. Right? And then we got SuperApps. Did you forget about those? Did you forget about the 3 billion wallets people are going to wake up to in the morning? Polymarket odds for XRP spot ETF approval by year end have surged to 93% amid Ripple's $3 billion in acquisitions and strategic investments. You think Ripple bought Hidden Road and Rail Financial because none of this is going to happen? You think they bought those companies because they're not getting a banking charter and a Federal Reserve master account? Come on now. Even the Frankfurt Stock Exchange in Germany is said to predict a price boost based for XRP with spot ETFs. And they're showing it going parabolic, essentially. They don't give a definitive price. But you know, we've had a lot of people call $7 to $10, $10 to $15 just on the ETF approvals. Now, Fidelity predicts a $1 billion Bitcoin by 2038. Well, leave it to the GOAT. He goes to AI and asks Grok here. AI predicts that if Bitcoin does hit $1 billion by 2038, XRP would be a $25,000 token at that point in that scenario. How about that? Yeah, come on in. And looking more closely here, here's the number you need to know about. We could possibly retest 255 and we could possibly not. But here's what we need to know. It's game over if we lose the 55 simple moving average. So we do not want to close below 255. And remember what he has told us in the past, Eggrag Crypto. Give him a follow. Between 255 or it's 265 at the time and 360, I think it was, is just a range. We're just ranging. Well, that range is opened up a little bit with the charts being organic. And now we know it's 255. I'll call it 360, 365. We're bouncing around in a dollar window, basically. And until, for me, we get above that, and obviously he says closing above 330 would be happy for him. So 330, 360 is where I got it. We get above there, and then all of the targets we're looking to achieve become a very real conversation, just like that. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. We're going into the Freedom Zone. Oh my gracious, you'll want to join us. Click the link underneath the video to join us in either Patreon, YouTube, or on X. Get all the same videos every day with zero Google ads. It costs almost nothing to be in here, and that is worth the price of admission alone. And today we're going to cover real work and information that is being uncovered here by Robert F. Kennedy Jr. You're going to want to know about it, and then we're going to move on to another clip from Elon Musk that I want to share with everyone. So I hope you will join us again. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. Come on in.